All right, here we go. Welcome everyone. We are in our official kickoff to our Minnesota Department of Health project. We have Liz and Libby here from the Minnesota Department of Health, and they're going to kind of help us go through the assignment. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me as usual. And if I don't have the answer to it, I'm happy to relay it to the team. All right, so as you know in our announcements, we have our announcements. We're going to go into assessments and assignments, and you are going to see the version 1 of our project right here. Here we go. So in our folder, you're going to notice at the very bottom, we have our rubric, of course, but we also have our zipped file here that you are going to use. I am going to, after this call, update that. So stay tuned. I'll send an email when that is finished. But yes, we are going to dive right into this with the directions, and we will start it off here with Liz.
Yes, thanks everyone. So excited for this project. So I am coming from the immunization program at Minnesota Department of Health. And one of the things that the immunization program is really focused on is increasing vaccination rates among Minnesotans. And we are working on a particular project to partner with community and based organizations, agencies that provide services to individuals who are pregnant or to families who have kiddos under the age of 5. And who serve sort of this vaccine advocacy role. And so we're looking to create a postcard that talks. We're developing the content, but we're going to talk in that resource about the importance of vaccination for pregnant persons and children 5 and under. And we need some help with the imagery on it. So the general description of this is really to create a 4x6 postcard graphic, something that is eye-catching, something that's engaging, and will kind of tie into the immunization promotion messaging that MDH is going to take care of coming together. So you are only responsible for that graphic side of the postcard. We are pretty open to a wide variety of themes and in images, really wanting to focus more on what are some of the reasons that vaccinations are so important. I think we had shared a little bit in the themes here, but really focusing that, vaccinations are important because it helps or it allows you to remain healthy and continue to participate within your community and family activities. So really looking for images that sort of highlight that and promote that vaccines are safe, they help protect people, and they allow you to continue to participate in school and camp and work and travel and all sorts of fun things like that. Trying to see if I covered it all here. Yes, so we did include here too a couple of thoughts. Again, you can take this in sort of like be creative with it, have fun with it. But some things you might consider are pregnant people getting vaccinated helps protect themselves and their baby. Vaccines help children stay healthy while learning in school, daycare, playing with their friends. And vaccinations for young children and pregnant people allow them to stay healthy and be able to participate in different cultural holiday or family activities. So kind of thinking along that. I'm going to pass it to Libby here.
Thank you, Liz. I'm Libby Schultz-Celine. I'm the graphic designer in the communications office here at MDH. I design anything that needs to be designed that comes to our office, and I manage the brand throughout the agency. So if there are questions about our style or I need to review other work, I also take on those jobs. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the design aspects here, some of the nitty gritty. So if in terms of like style and influences, we'd really like your designs to be visually exciting. And if it can reflect you as an artist and your lived experiences, or, kind of things that are important to you. And they should be appropriate for all ages and, for a professional environment. Think something that you might pick up in a clinic, or on a table if folks are tabling, something like that. So you kind of want it to be eye-catching, but also informative. If you're kind of wondering about our mission and vision, I think they're linked there. Yeah. Please don't include that text. It's just some background for you about what our values are. And then moving into number 4, in terms of like limits for typography, colors, those sorts of things, there will be ASE files, swatch files in the zipped file that Sam's going to get you today. And that'll have our whole palette in there. That doesn't include tints and shades of all the colors, but in our style guide, it does lay out all of those tints and shades. And this year, I think I included, Sam, a document that has the hex numbers for all of those tints and shades. So it'll be a little bit easier for you to grab those. Just know, you'll need to keep an eye on color contrast with our color palette. We need to be able to pass at a 5:1 ratio on something like that WebAIM contrast checker. That's an online tool. It's really easy to check your 2 colors against each other and see if that works. It's most important for text. I think it's actually a smaller ratio for non-text objects. So if it's, like food on top of a table, for example, that's not, I think it's like 3.5:1. That would be fine. But 5:1 is like definitely good to go. What else was I going to mention about? I think that was it about color. But for font, we would like it if they could utilize the Brandon Grotesque font. I understand if that maybe isn't available to you. I do have some like zipped files I could send if it's necessary, but I don't think we've had issues with that in the past, right, Sam? The other option is Calibri, if you'd prefer. I just like Brandon better personally. In terms of margin on the postcards, I would just keep, if you do plan on putting text or an element that's like really important, just make sure you've got at least 1/8 of an inch margin. We're going to take care of printing if we do print them. So it's fine if you have things bleed off. But just, make sure you're kind of keeping anything like really important within that margin. We don't use copyrighted imagery unless they've been paid for. And this is a like illustrative class, so it would be better if you were drawing everything on there. But if for some reason you did want a photo, Adobe Stock is where I would purchase something, or I have photos already that we've taken ourselves or downloaded. But again, I think Sam would urge you not to use photography in this course, or on this project specifically. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm touching on all of my things. Something off limits, I think, for this, and I know it is going to sound wild, but we would actually prefer if there wasn't a heavy lean on syringes. I know that sounds weird because it's about vaccinations, but people don't like syringes, surprisingly. So we would actually prefer if there wasn't like a huge needle on the postcard. If you're kind of depicting like a patient in a doctor's office and they're maybe getting a vaccine, just kind of, I try to use like a really, looks more like a pen versus a syringe. But yeah, so just kind of actually stay away from like lots of needles. It seems weird, but that's the feedback we've been given in terms of design. I think that's all we've got in terms of design stuff. I think, Sam will talk a little bit about mood board and sketches. What I'll say about that, because I personally struggled with those things, is just whatever comes to mind. So we're happy to look at anything for critique day because a little bit of feedback on something is better than like no feedback on anything. So that's my one thing about the sketches. I'd rather see something than nothing. But yeah, I think that's about it for design stuff.
Awesome. And I'll take us home here. Just to remind you folks, please take all of that into consideration. This is a really great project for practicing working with clients. And luckily, we're still in the safe space of being in a school course. But definitely make that time if you are able to. Come to that Zoom critique, which is next week, Wednesday, October 9th from 5 to 6. We are ending it as at whenever the last person has helped. So please be on time at 5 p.m. sharp. Have no fear if you can't make it due to other responsibilities or work or what have you. As long as you meet the deadline, this assignment is due by next Wednesday, October 9th by 11:59 p.m. As long as all of those files are in there, you do qualify for the project and the competition essentially. And you can still get your work critiqued. Now, please be aware that for version 1, as posted in the syllabus, rough drafts or version 1s or version 2s and beyond for assignments, those you can't make up if you miss. So if you miss that, you unfortunately missed out on the opportunity to be critiqued by the Minnesota Department of Health team and all of that. So for what you need to submit, students will come up with 4 quick sketches, all captured in one image as a JPEG or PNG. Title it sketches. You're going to have a mood board. I do have 2 tutorials in this folder, so have a look at those tutorials. For the mood board, like Libby said, anything that gives us context or inspiration. Last but not least, you are going to be submitting your actual postcard design. Needs to be 4 by 6 inches. It needs to be horizontal or landscape view, and it needs to be titled postcard. Okay, this could be in a PDF form. But yes, you need to make sure you have all of those files in order to earn full possible points and also be eligible to be critiqued by the Minnesota Department of Health, whether it's in a Zoom or digitally through the doc that I'll be sending them if you meet the deadline. Last but not least, Libby has been so kind and generous to offer an hour of her time, Monday, October 7th, 12 to 1 p.m. in a Zoom room to give you help. So definitely take advantage of that. And that pretty much takes us to the end. Good luck to everyone. Email me if you have any questions. And again, thank you to both Liz and Libby for being a part of this awesome project. This is a paid opportunity, folks. You don't want to miss out on that. So, all right. Looking forward to seeing what you create. Thank you very much.